Everyone, Dave Dubeau here with the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast, coming at you with another Real Estate Investment Club Spotlight interview. Today, it's my pleasure to be interviewing Gualter Amarelo from the Boston Real Estate Investors Association. And I'm guessing you're zooming in from Boston. Would that be a fair guess there, Gualter?
Dave, the joke's on us. So I'm actually living in Tampa right now. So I actually... when COVID hit, I said, you know what? I'm out until they allow us to do live events. I'm going where the money is, and I can do more deals down here right now. So I just moved.
There you go. Well, all right. Well, but you're still running the Boston Real Estate Investors Association. These days, everything's virtual, so we'll talk about that. So first of all, let's jump in. Tell me a little bit about the club. I'm guessing it's based in Boston.
Absolutely. So the Boston Real Estate Investors Association is actually based out of Dedham, which is the greater Boston area, trying to get a space big enough that was affordable enough that would fit everybody. Just wasn't going to happen in Boston. The city is absolutely crazy to park in. So we shifted down a little bit further south, and it's a huge community. I mean, just absolutely amazing. I met so many great people there. I've raised capital there. I've seen our community build and do deals together, partnerships, and the speakers are fantastic. They fly from other parts of the country to come and speak. We're one of the larger real estate investor associations, if not the largest in the country. We do brag about that often, just because of the sheer the desire to invest in Boston is just absolutely nuts.
So how long has the club been around for, and how many members do you have?
So the club's been around for over a decade now, and they've got about 5,000 members inside the Boston REIA that are just vibrant. Like, they do stuff, it's different from other associations where, and not just associations, but meetups and events where you go and then it's just a bunch of analysis paralysis in the room. We've built a really good mentorship community, and people take people under their wing. And once people have made money, they don't just leave, like they actually stay and they help other people along, because they know it's paying it forward. It was paid forward to them, so pay it forward to the next person. And they actually end up doing deals with each other. It's so funny that somebody who has money or has made money eventually becomes a lender on a deal. It's just how it works.
That's very cool. So, Gualter, it sounds like you've been around the block a few times with different clubs and associations and whatnot. What do you think makes that difference? What is it that people who are watching this, other club organizers, can take away from this that might create more of that sense of community?
That's a great question. And I spoke to the representative of Home Depot, and I said the same thing. He asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer. It's follow-up and community goal. So it's not just how many people can we get in the room, it's how many people can we keep in the room? How many people can we keep coming back? What are their desires? What are their failures? What are their opportunities? What can we do to move them forward? And the biggest thing we found was follow-up. It's just stay in touch.
So what does that mean to you? What is follow up for your club members?
So it's actually a simple question. What have you done this week in real estate? And it's a text that goes out, and that text it's simple. Hey, what have you done in real estate? And then there's a conversation that starts, and you have to be able to man that conversation, be willing to, be face to face with the community other than the event itself.
Yeah.
But that relationship is so much deeper because you reached out, because you showed they cared, and then you're giving them the one favorite topic themselves. And it's so easy, you know their name, and you're about to learn about themselves. Like they're done, right? they found new family.
Well, that is brilliant, Gualter. That's the first time I've heard of somebody doing that. So hats off to you if you were the smart guy that thought that up. That's fantastic. Now, with 5,000 members, obviously you're not doing 24/7 texting every single one of them. You must be using some sort of a system for this. If you don't mind sharing, what system works well for you, and then how the heck, out of the 5,000, how many people typically get back to you?
So it's not as many as you would think. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, so we got overwhelmed at first. And let me answer that in order. So we use KV Carr. So we're real estate agents. We have, I'm a licensed agent. My girlfriend's a licensed agent. She handles a lot of the follow-up, and Duncan handles a lot of the follow-up, but we handle that more aggressive, personal touch.
Yeah.
And we use KV Core, which has a lot of automations involved. So we pay the extra price to have the ability to text the masses.
Mm-hmm.
And follow-up is probably I'd say it's about 6 hours a week is what we spend total, because we don't answer them as they come through. I'm going to go spend about 30 minutes and just bang through maybe 100 responses.
Yeah, you batch things up. That's really, really smart. So yeah, I can imagine that the first time you did it, it's like, holy crap, everybody got back to you. Now that you're doing it, you said on a weekly basis?
So weekly, but not everybody. Not everybody's getting hit weekly. So we had to spread it out.
Okay.
Because it's like you said, it's just too much. So they're getting hit once a month. We're just taking on the workload once a week.
Got it. So you split it up to about 1,200 people or whatever. Yeah, 1,200 people, 1,250 people once a week are getting this, and then it keeps it more manageable for you. All right, that makes a lot of sense. That's brilliant, and creating that community, and not only that, what I really love about what you're saying there, Gualter, is you're using technology to mass communicate, but you're doing a personal response.
Exactly.
That's really, really key. I can see why you've got so many enthusiastic members. Smart. So, hey, Gualter, for somebody who's kind of watching this and perhaps they're not part of a local real estate investor association or a group or a club, why do you think anybody who's either actively involved in real estate or wants to be actively involved in real estate should be part of a good club?
That's a phenomenal question, because there's too many investors out there who've been relatively successful, but they haven't gotten to their max result. So I wrote the book, Get the Deal. And this is in page 1. I say there's only 2 problems. And those problems are you have enough time or you have enough money. And you're always looking to serve one of those. Either, if you have too much money, that means you're looking to find somebody else to do the work for you. And if you have too much time, that means you're looking for money, right? You've got to go and get some money in your life because you're not doing enough. So that principle comes from finding people. It's either you need to find somebody who has money or you need to find somebody who has time. And at the REIAs, you're getting those people. We say it all the time, and I'm sure you say it, and all your guests say the same thing, is it's not just what you learn in the room, it's the people you connect with in the room where the money is made. We probably say it so much that people are ignoring the simple truth, because the path to wealth is simple, but it's not easy, right? It's not easy to go and repetitively do, to show up at the event again, to get yourself out of your comfort zone again. And the biggest mistake I see people make when they do go to the REIAs is business cards. They meet somebody and they hand a business card. The only time I give somebody a business card is if I don't want to talk to them, right? Like somebody wants my card, then I'll say, hey, I don't have any cards. I want your number. I'll text you right now. And build that deep relationship so that we have something tomorrow, because you give them a card, it gets lost. How many cards did they collect that night?
And everybody's schlepping the same thing, and it's all me. Been there, done that. I'm guilty of having done that in the past myself. That's for sure.
We all feel that guilt, right? It's like a shame. It's like, man, I've done that. But the truth of it is,
I was that guy.
Yeah, we've been that guy, and that's how you learn. And the secret to the business card and doing it the right way, like going and getting that connection, is you're no longer about you. You're actually about them, because you can serve them better. If you're a realtor or you're an insurance agent or you're a contractor or a plumber or any one of the dirty dozen that we need in this business, it's your moral, ethical duty to make sure that they know they can count on you. And so you got to contact them. You got to say hi.
Yeah, you got to follow up, right?
Yes.
That's the key there. All right, very, very good. So different associations, different clubs sometimes have different focus areas. So for your club, for the Boston Real Estate Investors Association, do you cover a wide variety of topics with the club, or is it kind of more flip focused, wholesaling focused, multifamily focused? What do you guys do?
So Duncan is fantastic with the guests. He brings on, we have 12 months, right? So we look at it and we have 12 topics. We make sure we cover wholesaling once a year, or sometimes twice a year. We make sure we cover accessing deals. So getting and finding deals, whether it's multifamily or single family, the marketing strategies are about the same. And then we talk about capital. How do the capital stack sometimes is the most confusing part. So that's a great way to bring in new members, is how to buy houses with no money down.
Yeah.
And
that's what got me into real estate back in the day.
Same, my friend. Same. It was.
You too can get rich in real estate with little or no money down, right?
Dave Lindahl, right?
No, I actually know Dave. It was Ron LeGrand. Actually, that was.
There you go. Another champion. Yep.
Yeah.
And that brings people in. So you have to do those, but you also have to do the ones that serve the community, like credit repair every so often, or how to have a unique marketing strategy. Like we had Max Keller come in, and Max Keller writes a book. You know Max.
I know Max. Yeah.
He writes a book for you, and now you're the authority on how to disposition your house when you're elderly, when you're getting to that age where it's no longer serving you, how to get rid of it for, working with investors.
Yeah.
And then there's another gentleman, Brant Phillips, who wrote the book on raising private capital. And then Max Keller and them work together so you can actually get both books. So you could go and raise capital because you're the authority with the book, or you can go and have a seller, instead of leaving a business card, you leave a book.
Yeah.
Now it's sitting on their counter and they're like, wow, like this is something amazing.
Yeah.
So we cover a broad spectrum.
That's a really good idea. That's why this is one of the things that we do with our clients as well. Yeah.
You walk the walk, right? It works.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant. So you got a wide variety of topics. You got a wide variety of different speakers. You kind of have, the dirty dozen of the main things that you want to cover. Smart. All right. Now, Gualter, you've been part of the club for quite a while. What's besides your own success story, what's your favorite member success story out of the Boston Real Estate Investors Association?
So we also run a mentorship program, and I only sell it if I'm asked. So it's just an offer, right?
Yeah.
And the mentorship program is where I really get to connect with people. We have about 150 students who've come through that, and of those, I only take on 3 coaching students a year. It's just a limit that I put on myself because I'm an investor. I'm active doing things, but I still like to stay in touch, like really closely in touch with people who I see have the passion. And there's one student who came through, his name's Saeed Khan, and he comes through and he actually drove an hour to come to the Boston REIA. So he lives out an hour away in Worcester. And this kid came in with $250,000 net worth. And within 6 months, he went from $250,000 to $1.5 million.
Wow.
Not because the buildings went up in value, because he took massive action. He just is one of those people who, when you say something, he trusts you and he trusts himself and he takes action on it. And he put an offer after offer. We're talking seller financing deals, raising private capital. Like, he got nervous. We put the PowerPoint together. He went out and did it. And he went through all the phases that I went through as an investor, but he did them in a short period of time. Like, it took me years to get to where he's at right now, and amazing to watch. He's the unicorn, though. Not everybody's like that.
No, of course not. So you kind of wish you had known you back then when you were getting started, right? Would have been
I'm
so
sure
much.
You say it all the time.
Yeah. All right, very cool. So we're wrapping up this. Time flies when we're having fun here. Gualter, what's your position within the organization? What do you do? Are you the president? Are you what do you do within the?
So I think that Duncan calls me the face. He says Gualter goes out there. He's the rah-rah guy. He gets everybody showing up. He gets everybody happy. Make sure that people understand what's going on. Sometimes a speaker will come in and they need somebody to let them know who they are, right? The speaker, if they come in, they say, hey, this is what I am. It's not as powerful as somebody else validating beforehand. And that's, I like to have a conversation. I pump the tires, man. Nice. And then after the close, if the tire deflates a little, I pump it back up. So just to make sure that the speaker's time was valuable and that the people in the room are getting the maximum out of what they came for. So it's, I'm the energy guy.
You're the energy guy. Well, that's a perfect title. That's wonderful. And how did the whole pandemic thing affect you and the club? Well, you got the hell out of town, but did you guys switch to Zoom meetings or what?
Yeah, so the National REIA put out this training on how to do Zoom meetings, and we jumped on it. As soon as they put out that training, we all watched it multiple times and we said, we're doing Zoom. We were cutting edge. We said, yep, we're going to do this. And fortunately we did, and we got very good at it because Zoom became the thing for the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. It still in Boston, we're not really allowed to do live events. We're looking at maybe January. At which case I'll be flying back to Boston, and I may move back probably in the spring. So, and I love the city. It's just, you've got to accept that we're in a virtual world and serve the community. Right. And we started doing extra events instead of just doing the monthly event. We started doing more aggressive, hey, let's meet up next week. And doing much smaller virtual events where it's just, hey, ask questions. I'll jump in the call and you ask questions.
Smart. Yeah, and that worked pretty well. That keeps you connected with the membership. That's fantastic. All right. So Gualter, it sounds like you got a very successful, very, very vibrant club in Boston, and it sounds like it's kind of expanded beyond the city limits. So if people want to find out more about you and about the club, is there a website they can check out?
Absolutely. If you go to bostonrea.com, Boston Real Estate Investors Association.com, or you can go to gualteramarelo.com if you can spell it. And either way, we've got links to get to our meeting every month, where the first Thursday of every month, we start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're there to serve. We want to serve beginning investors and mediary investors and the investors who are just looking to have other people do the work for them. So we're here to serve. We just want to make sure that people are getting financial freedom. We know that the wealth gap is growing. We understand that the middle class is getting destroyed, and I think it's our mission to bring back the middle class.
Beautiful. Well said. Well, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun, and keep rocking and rolling with the club.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate what you do, man. Keep spreading the word. Everybody needs to go to an event, take action now, and speed to action is the key to success.
Love it. All right, everybody, take care, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning into this special Spotlight episode. Now, if you're a real estate investor and you're looking to find private money partners and raise capital for your deals, then check out moneypartnerformula.com. You get a free copy of my book. You can find out how to raise 6 figures or more in 6 weeks or less. Again, that's moneypartnerformula.com.